Pwede na po tayo mag-start.
Yes po.
Salamat. Again, at any point during the lecture, if you have any questions, feel free to call my attention po Okay. Pag medyo yung internet connection naglalag, okay, hindi nyo masyadong madinig, okay, tabihin nyo lang po sa akin. Okay? Thank you. Okay, I'm going to start sharing the screen. Okay, just checking if you could see it po mga anak.
Yes po.
Tama po ba ito yung last slide natin kanina?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, so we'll start with lesions of the spinal cord. So before we do that, okay, again, let's review. So here's a cross-section of the spinal cord. Again, whenever you see a cross-section of the spinal cord, so you have to visualize that this part is right side and this part is left side. Okay, and this is anterior and this part is posterior. Okay, and then you have to visualize the location of the important ascending and descending tracts. Let's start with ascending tracts. You have to remember again your fasciculus cuneatus and fasciculus gracilis. Collectively, we call it as dorsal column. And again, we did mention that it's for what type of sensory information. It will receive what type of sensory information? Proprioception. Okay? This is your lateral spinothalamic tract located on the lateral column, and this will mediate pain and temperature sensations. And lastly, you have your anterior spinothalamic tract located on the anterior column, okay? And this one will mediate touch and pressure sensations, okay? And then remember the rules. A lesion involving your dorsal column, the presentations will be seen on the same side of the lesion, while involvement of your spinothalamic tracts, whether it's lateral spinothalamic or anterior spinothalamic, the presentations of lesions or sensory losses will be seen on the contralateral side. For the descending pathways, I want you to remember only one, and this is your lateral corticospinal tract located on the lateral column, and a lesion involving lateral corticospinal tract will lead to paralysis, motor loss, otherwise known as paralysis. And the paralysis will be seen on the same side of the lesion. Are we clear regarding the rules?
Yes po.
Okay, very good. So, what are presentations of spinal cord disorders? So, in case in the future, okay, you have a patient, vehicular accident, motorcycle accidents, it's very common. So, what will be the presentations of spinal cord lesions? You have to check for motor, of course. You have to check for sensory. You have to do deep tendon reflexes and check for autonomic functions. And the reason behind that is for you to localize whether it's cervical, thoracic, lumbar, or sacral involvement. So, don't be surprised pag nasa duty kayo, sabihin sa inyo ng consultant o ng residente na duty, or doc, okay, do digital rectal examination, the spinal cord lesions, a suspected case of spinal cord injury, kasi you're going to check for autonomic function. Okay? So that's the reason behind that. while you have to do, for example, okay, to check for the reflex or the sphincter reflex. Again, these are rules to remember. I want you to remember these rules. Okay, in spinal cord lesions, the weakness will be always on the same side of the lesion. The proprioception loss will be always on the same side of the lesion, ipsilateral, while the pain and temperature losses will be on the contralateral. So again, all presentations will be seen on the same side of the lesion except your spinothalamic tract involvement, which will be seen on the opposite. Okay, let's go back to corticospinal tract. Baka medyo pumalito tayo eh. Dok, bakit pag corticospinal tract, for example, in stroke patient, involvement of corticospinal tract on the right side, the paralysis will be seen on the left side. Okay, the reason behind that, the involvement of corticospinal tract is above the level of pyramidal decussation. So the manifestation will be seen on the opposite. Remember, corticospinal tract, which means you can have injury at the level of the cortex, the primary motor area, at the cerebrum, or at the level of the spinal cord, below the level of decussation. For our purpose for this afternoon, so dito tayo, because we are discussing spinal cord lesions. So the presentations or the involvement of corticospinal tract, the presentation, if it is a spinal cord disorder, the weakness or the paralysis will always be on the same side of the lesion. Are we clear on that point? Section B?
Yes po.
Okay. Also, again, for you to have motor loss presentations in spinal cord, you have to remember two structures or two neuroanatomical structures. And what are those? Corticospinal tract and the anterior horn cells of the gray matter. Remember, we did mention that the anterior or the ventral horn of the gray matter is also motor as to function. Okay? Descending pathways, corticospinal tract, for example, are referred as an upper motor neurons. Okay? While the motor cells in the anterior gray horn of the spinal cord and the motor nuclei of cranial nerves are the final common pathways for the control of skeletal muscle activity, and they are referred as lower motor neurons. Okay, again, this will be discussed in details when we discuss in our lecture descending pathways. But for our purpose for this afternoon, I have to mention this. An involvement of corticospinal tract will lead to upper motor neuron lesion, while involvement of anterior horn cells will lead to a lower motor neuron lesion. So you have to remember that. For you to have, again, motor involvement in spinal cord lesions, it's either you have an injury to corticospinal tract or an injury to the anterior gray horn of the spinal cord. Okay? Involvement of corticospinal tract will lead to upper motor neuron lesion, while involvement of the anterior horn cells will lead to a lower motor neuron lesion. Here's a tabulation that will help you to remember the differences between an upper versus lower motor neuron lesion. You're going to have paralysis, but the paralysis of upper is described as spastic. In lower motor neuron lesions, it is described as flaccid. There's marked atrophy in lower motor neuron lesion, fasciculations in lower motor neuron lesion, okay, clonus, pathologic reflexes, and increased muscle tone is seen in upper motor neuron lesion. So I want you to remember again this tabulation showing you the differences between an upper motor neuron lesion versus lower motor neuron lesions. Again, when you have your lecture regarding the descending pathways, this will be discussed in details. So spinal cord injury, there will be a period of spinal shock which follows an acute damage to the spinal cord. There will be temporary interruption of the function of the spinal cord immediately following injury. Old cord functions below the level of the lesion will become affected, will be depressed or lost. It may persist for less than 24 hours or may persist for as long as 1 to 4 weeks. Again, it can be determined by testing for activity of anal sphincter reflex. What are presentations of spinal cord injury, spinal shock, flaccid reflexes paralysis, for examples, complete loss of sensation, loss of autonomic function, loss of reflex activity. For example, again, paralysis of the bladder and rectum. Again, that's the reason behind why you check for the activity of the sphincter reflex. In spinal cord injury, you have to remember that the patient has an intact memory, okay? Intact higher intellectual functions. Nakapagsalita yung mga pasyenteng yan. Oriented sa time, sa place, etc., etc. And also, no cranial nerve deficits. So these are the two, okay, ways how would you differentiate it from a supratentorial versus an infratentorial level. Supratentorial, whether it's infratentorial or spinal level or peripheral, you're going to have sensory and motor losses. Okay? But in spinal cord lesions, again, memory, higher intellectual functions is intact. There will be no cranial nerve deficits. Are we clear up to this part po?
Yes po.
Okay. Spinal cord lesions. So we have cervical, lumbar, sacral, and thoracic portions. Cervical segments will affect mainly arm function, lumbar leg function, and of course, sacral, bladder, bowel, and sexual functions may be affected. A lesion of the spinal cord may result in segmental dysfunction at a particular level, but but it also may interfere with intersegmental functions. Okay, again, you're going to have involvement of your ascending and descending pathways below the level of the lesion. I'm going to show you that through illustrations later. Okay, again, this is a spinal cord. So you have your cervical, you have your thoracic, you have your lumbar, and sacral regions. Okay, and this will show you again mainly the functions of the different segments. I'm going to, okay, I forgot to include the video. Okay, I'm going to include it after this lecture. That will help you to remember how to differentiate cervical, thoracic, lumbar, or sacral involvement of the spinal cord. And these are just signs of spinal cord injury after an accident. We're going to discuss this in details. Again, mainly you're going to have paralysis, you're going to have loss of sensations, okay? You're going to have autonomic function, for example, loss of control of bladder or bowel functions, etc., etc. I'm going to include this video kasi hindi po siya nagpe-play eh. Okay? Try ko nga ulit kasi sa ibang section hindi nag-play. Ayaw po eh. Okay. I-include ko po yun sa Moodle later. Okay. These are terms that I want you to remember. Quadriplegia, monoplegia, paraplegia. Quadriplegia, okay, the person is quadriplegic. The condition is quadriplegia. Okay? All four extremities will be affected, paralyzed. usually involving C4, C5, and C6. Okay, this is the reason behind why you check for deep tendon reflexes. Okay, last semester, I'm sure it was mentioned. Okay, you have your biceps tendon reflex, brachioradialis reflex, and triceps brachii reflex. These are the main deep tendon reflexes in the upper extremity that's being tested. In the lower extremity, we have your patellar tendon reflex and Achilles tendon reflex. So the reason behind why we do this when we check for spinal cord functions, okay, is for you to be able to localize where is the involvement of spinal cord injury. Paraplegia means both lower extremities will be paralyzed. Paraplegic is the person, paraplegia is the condition, while monoplegia means only one extremity is affected. Again, C4, C5, C6, involvement of the spinal cord, you're going to have quadriplegia. Okay? T6 below, you could have a patient, okay, with paraplegia. Okay, again, this is a cross section of spinal cord. So we're going to discuss syndromes, and I want you to visualize that. So when you say, for example, hemisection, means one side. This is hemisection. One side of the spinal cord is injured, whether it's right side or left side. Okay? Central cord means this part of the spinal cord is affected, injured. Okay? Posterior cord means this part of the spinal cord is injured. Anterior cord means this part of the spinal cord is injured. It's the opposite of posterior cord. And when you say complete cord transection, both sides of the spinal cord will be affected. Anyway, we're going to discuss that again. So let's start. So these are the destructive spinal cord syndromes to remember. Complete cord transection, anterior cord, central cord, posterior cord, brown sequards, otherwise known as hemisection. Okay, the key here again is for you to visualize. Know the location of your important ascending tracts and descending tracts. Pyramidal tract is otherwise known as your cortico-spinal tract. Okay, so again, central cord, anterior cord, and brown sequard syndrome. So let's start. So let's have cases. 41 years old man is brought to the emergency room after an accident at a construction site. The examination reveals a weakness and loss of vibratory sensations and discriminative touch on the left lower extremity and loss of pain and thermal sensations on the right lower extremity. Okay? Do you have a neurological disorder? Yes. You have weakness. The weakness is on the right side. Loss of vibratory sensations is also on the right side. And there's loss of pain and temperature, but this time on, okay? Sorry, left side pala to. The weakness and the weakness and the proprioception loss is seen on the left side, but the loss of pain and thermal sensations is seen on the right side. Okay, if I ask you what tract is responsible for the weakness, what tract is most likely injured if you have a patient spinal cord injury with weakness? What tract? Is it ascending or descending?
Descending po.
Descending, very good. And what descending tract? Isa lang naman ang descending tract na sinabi natin ngayon. It's your cortico-spinal tract. Okay? For vibratory sensation, what ascending tract is responsible for that? Most likely you have injury to what tract? What ascending tract? Proprioception,
Dorsal
Dorsal.
column po.
dorsal column. Very good. Dorsal column here, involvement. And for loss of pain and temperature sensations, okay, so you have your spinothalamic, lateral spinothalamic tract to be specific. Okay, let's go back to the rules that I gave to you. Okay, spinal cord disorder. Saan ang weakness? Same side? Contralateral?
Same side po.
Same side. Saan ang proprioception loss? Ipsilateral or contralateral?
Same side
Same
po.
side po.
Ipsilateral. And saan yung spinothalamic tract involvement? Presentation, same side or contralateral?
Contralateral.
So as you can see here, the presentations of your weakness and proprioception loss is on the left side, but your spinothalamic tract involvement presentations will be on the right side. So tama yung rule natin. So pag tinanong ko ngayon kayo, anong side ng spinal cord ang injured dito? Right side, left side, both sides. What will be your answer? Hello po. What side of the spinal cord is injured here? Right side, left side, both sides. Hello, malinaw po yung rule natin.
Left side po.
Left side.
Malinaw po yung rule natin. Sabi natin, di ba? The weakness is on the same side. The proprioception loss is on the same side. While the spinothalamic loss will be on the opposite side. So, ang ibig sabihin ito, the injury is on the left side. Nakuha po ba, mga anak?
Yes po, Doc.
You have to understand this case kasi ito yung pinaka-template. This is your Brown-Sequard syndrome. Pag hindi nyo po naintindihan si Brown-Sequard, mahirapan na kayo intindihin yung ibang syndromes. So this is your template. So this is your Brown-Sequard syndrome. You have to go back to this rule. The weakness is always on the same side of the lesion. The proprioception loss is always on the same side of the lesion, while the pain and temperature losses will be seen on the opposite. So here, gagawin nyo to sa manual nyo, ha? So you have to go back. Nandito si dorsal column. Nandito si corticospinal tract. Nandito si spinothalamic tract. Nandito si anterior spinothalamic tract. Okay? Nasaan yung weakness ng pasyente? This is right side. This is left side. Nasa left. Nasaan yung proprioception loss niya? Nasa left side. At nasaan yung pain and temperature losses niya? Nasa right side. So which means ang injured ay nasa left side. So this is your left hemisection. Nakuha pa mga anak?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. So this case, again, there's motor weakness on the left side. You have involvement of your corticospinal tract, left side. You have vibratory sensation, losses, and discriminative touch. So you have involvement of your dorsal column, posterior column, and you have your loss of pain and tremor sensations on the right side. So you have involvement of lateral spinothalamic tract. Okay? So the lesion is on the left side. And this case is your Brown-Sequard syndrome, otherwise known as hemisection. And these are pictures of Brown-Sequard syndrome. Contralateral loss of pain and temperature sensations, ipsilateral loss of proprioception, and ipsilateral manifestations of upper and lower motor neuron lesions, because both corticospinal tract and you have your anterior horn cells of the gray matter involvement. So don't be surprised if you have both presentations of an upper and lower motor neuron lesions. Okay, if we're going to draw it again, You have involvement of your dorsal column, okay, left side, corticospinal tract, left side, and you have your spinothalamic tract, left side. Okay, so the motor loss, the proprioception loss will be seen on the left side, but the pain and temperature losses will be seen on the right side. Naintindihan po si Brownlee Quartz?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. I want you to answer this one. 23 years old is brought to the emergency room from the site of an automobile collision. Neurologic examination reveals weakness and loss of vibratory sensations on the left lower extremity and loss of pain and thermal sensations on the right side, beginning at the level of the umbilicus. Damage to which of the following tracts would correlate with weakness of the lower extremity in this man? What is your answer here? Try to answer, mga anak. Is it the left lateral corticospinal tract, left fasciculus gracilis, right lateral corticospinal tract, or right fasciculus gracilis? What will be your answer?
Letter A po, Doc.
Section B, weakness. Anong rule natin? The weakness is always on the same side of the lesion pag spinal cord injury. So, ang weakness niya ay nasa left side. And the descending pathway involved is your corticospinal tract. So, the answer is letter A. Okay? Let's try to replace the scenario. 23 years old is brought to the emergency room from the site of an automobile collision. Neurological examination reveals weakness and loss of vibratory sensations on the left lower extremity and loss of pain and thermal sensations on the right side beginning at the level of the umbilicus. Which of the following represents the most likely damage to the spinal cord resulting from fracture to the vertebral column in this man? T8 on the left, T8 on the right, T10 on the left, T10 on the right. What is your answer? Section B, wala. Doc Roy, what's your answer?
Doc, T8 on the left po.
T8 on the left. Section B, agree po kayo? Parang isa na lang kasama ko dito sa lecture. Wala nang iba. Nagtago na.
Yes po, Doc, letter A.
Letter A. Okay, very good. Bakit letter A? Oh, bakit letter A?
Doc, yung sa thoracic dermatomes po ba yun?
Bakit left side muna?
Kasi po dun po nawala yung weakness siya po loss of vibratory sensation. Same side po kapag weakness.
Oh, yung ano niya eh. Loss of pain niya oh. Nasa right side.
Yung loss of pain and thermal po contralateral.
Okay.
Kasi po,
So, ang loss of pain niya, nakikita nyo, nasa right side, pero yung proprioception loss niya, nasa left side. So, which means between right side or left side, the answer is left. Tama. Very good. So, we have two choices, T8, T10. Diba? Ang daming sasagot dito. Yung iba baka iniisip, T10. Because the dermatome level of the umbilicus is at level T10. Pero hindi naman dermatome level ang tinatanong sa atin, di ba? Which of the following represents the most likely damage to the spinal cord resulting from fracture to the vertebral column in this man. So what will be the explanation for this one? So here, this is just a guide. You have to go back to the dermatome levels, and this was given to you last semester. Dermatome is an area of the skin supplied by the somatosensory fibers from a single spinal nerve, and is very useful to localize the level of the lesion. This is the reason behind why we do checking of the dermatome level. These are just guides. C2 back of head, C5 tip of shoulder, C6 thumb, C7 middle finger, C8 small finger, T4, T5 default, T10 umbilicus, L1 inguinal, L4, L5 big toe, S1 small toe, S5 perineum. Yes, the dermatome level of the umbilicus is at level T10. Okay? But there's a rule. The loss of pain and thermal sensations on the contralateral side is about 1 to 2 segments below the level of the lesion, which means if the injured is T8 on the left, T8 of the spinal cord on the left, the loss of pain and temperature sensations will be seen at T10 dermatome level on the right side. So remember that. Okay po? Again, we're going to go back to this one. Okay, you're going to fully understand this when we discuss ascending pathways. But we have to mention this kasi we're talking about spinal cord injuries. Are we clear po?
Yes.
Naintindihan mo? Pero kung patanungin kayo, what is the dermatome level of the umbilicus, that's the time for you to answer as T10. Okay, clear?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, very good. So next case. 70 years old girl presents with bilateral loss of pain and thermal sensations. Bilateral. So pag sinabi ng bilateral, which means both sides of the spinal cord is affected. Both sides will be affected. Sensations at the base of the neck and extending over the upper extremity and down to the level of the nipple. So the only presentation here is involvement of your spinothalamic tract, lateral spinothalamic tract for pain and temperature. Okay, so it is implied here that proprioception and weakness, okay, there is no proprioception loss, there is no weakness. The only presentation here is bilateral loss of pain and thermal sensations. Okay, so what is this case? This case, we call it as your central cord syndrome. Okay, the only tract affected here will be your spinothalamic tract, lateral spinothalamic tract, leading to bilateral loss of pain and temperature sensations. And of course, the lesion is at midline. Okay? So if you're going to draw it, so let's go back to this part. So this is known as your central cord syndrome. Small part of the spinal cord at the center is involved. We call it as central cord syndrome. Again, this is right side, this is left side. When you have your lecture regarding the ascending pathways, okay, so we did mention that the posterior horn receiving sensory information. Okay, so for example lang po try to imagine that you were pinprick on the right side, so papasok yung stimulus on the right, received by your posterior horn, and this will travel crossing the anterior horn and crossing the central commissure of the spinal cord at the center, and this will exit through the opposite. Ganon din sa kabila. Okay? So, the only pathway that will be affected here is your spinothalamic. in central cord syndrome. But central cord is a progressive lesion. Kung nagpatuloy sa paglaki yung cavitation ng central cord, it will become a large lesion and this will become now a complete cord transection. Okay? So, we start with central cord. So, here is central cord. The main presentation here is a classical cape-like distribution of sensory losses. Okay? Bilateral losses of pain and temperature sensations. Again, the only tract that will be affected will be your spinothalamic. No motor loss, no proprioception loss. Okay? Only pain and temperature losses, which will be seen bilaterally. So this is your central cord. In some books, it is otherwise known as syringomyelia. Remember that. Central cord syndrome, the other name for that is syringomyelia. So the distribution of sensory losses is described as cape-like distribution. Cape-like distribution involving the shoulder and the upper extremity. So you have involvement of your spinothalamic tract.
Barbecue.
Nakuha po yung central cord?
Yes po.
Okay, next case. 6-year-old man consulted into neurology clinic and the physician paid particular attention to his gait. Patient raised his feet unnecessarily high and brought them to the ground in a stomping manner. On questioning, the patient said that he was having difficulty to walk, especially when he went out for walks in the dark. On examination, there is loss of muscle joint sense and inability to detect vibration sense on both legs. A positive Romberg's test was seen. No other sensory or motor deficit since. Positive Romberg's test. Okay? This will indicate sensory ataxia. And here, the presentations is mainly proprioception loss. Loss of muscle joint sense, and inability to detect vibration sense on both legs. Plus, you have positive Romberg's test. No other sensory or motor deficit since, which means no pain and temperature losses, no paralysis.
Kabila ka sa mga electric pa na.
Okay? So the only tract involved here is your dorsal column. Your corticospinal tract is intact. Your spinothalamic tracts intact. Okay? And the lesion is located on what? So both sides will be affected kasi both bilateral loss of muscle joint sense and vibratory sensations on the legs. And what is this case? We call this as your posterior cord syndrome. So you have to go back here. So this is your dorsal column. So you have bilateral proprioception loss. Okay? So we call this as your posterior cord syndrome. No involvement of corticospinal tract, it is intact. Spinothalamic tract is intact. The only pathway affected is your dorsal column. Nakuha po, mga anak?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. These are presentations of dorsal column lesion. Okay? Lemniscus. Ang tawag doon, lemniscus, medial lemniscus pag nasa brainstem. Pero pag nasa spinal cord, we call it as dorsal column. So these are presentations of proprioception injury. Okay? Inability to recognize limb position, aciognosis, loss of two-point discrimination, loss of vibratory sensation, and positive Romberg's sign. Ano nga sabi natin sa stereognosis? What is stereognosis? Sinabi ko kanina, what is stereognosis?
Ability to know the object by touching it po.
Ability to recognize objects merely by touching. Okay, we have to remember that. So an injury to dorsal column, an injury to medial meniscus, this will be the presentations. Okay? So posterior cord, so here, ito lang ang problema mo. Okay? So your corticospinal tract is intact. Your spinothalamic tract is intact. The only problem here is dorsal column, posterior column. So there will be proprioception and vibration sense losses below the level of the lesion. No paralysis, no pain, and temperature losses. Okay? Posterior cord syndrome is otherwise known as tabes dorsalis. Tabes dorsalis is a condition caused by tertiary syphilis. Okay? So you have to elicit questions. Tatanungin mo yung pasyente. Medical history. So this is the reason behind why you ask questions. Tanungin mo yung pasyente kung nagkaroon siya previously ng sakit. Okay? Syphilis. In tabes dorsalis, there is bilateral degeneration of dorsal column, okay, dorsal roots, resulting in secondary degeneration of the posterior column. And this will be seen usually 20 to 30 years after the initial infection. So the involvement of neuroanatomical structures will be seen 20 to 30 years after the initial infection. Tabes dorsalis. So you check for Romberg's test. Romberg's sign. Okay. How do you check for Romberg's test? Romberg's sign. You ask your patient to stand, feet together, eyes closed, and note for swaying. Again, ask the patient to stand, feet together, eyes closed, and you check for swaying. Romberg's sign, a patient who can stand with feet together and the eyes open, but who sways and falls when the eyes are closed. Okay? It indicates a positive Romberg's sign, and this will indicate absence of position sense in the lower extremity. So you're checking for position sense when you do Romberg's test, Romberg's sign. And position sense, again, is one of the components of your proprioception. Proprioception, again, mediated by what pathway? Dorsal column. Take note, swaying will be seen only if the eyes are closed. Swaying, falling will be seen only if the eyes are closed. If there will be swaying, if there will be falling, even if the eyes are open, that is your cerebellar ataxia, not sensory ataxia. Did you get the differences? Did you get the differences, section B?
Doc, pwede po isa pa.
Okay. You ask your patient to stand. Okay? Feet together. And then you ask your patient to close the eyes. Pag nag-sway siya, nag-fall siya, pag sarado yung mata, that's positive Romberg sign. Pag sarado yung mata, okay, nag-fall siya, nag-sway siya, it means meron kang involvement. That is your sensory ataxia. Sensory ataxia yun. So there's absence of position sense in the lower extremity. Okay? Pero pag siya ay nag-sway, nag-fall, even if the eyes are open, that is already a cerebellar ataxia. Nag-lecture na kayo kanina ng cerebellum, di ba? Balance. One of the functions of cerebellum is for balance. Sometimes we also check for Romberg's test. Just to rule out. Basta pag nag-sway siya, sarado ang mata, okay, sensory ataxia yun. Pero pag nag-sway siya, bukas ang mata, that's cerebellar ataxia.
Thank you po, Doc.
Okay na po yun?
Yes po.
Clear po yun na, malinaw po yun na. But Romberg's test, Romberg's sign is mainly done to check for sensory ataxia. Ginagawa din siya sa cerebellar ataxia just to rule out sensory ataxia versus cerebellar ataxia. Okay, here again, okay, that's Romberg's test. Mainly testing for position sense. Okay? ALS. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's a pure motor disease involving the generation of anterior horn cells leading to lower motor neuron lesion,
You.
anterior horn cells, and corticospinal tract leading to upper motor neuron lesion. There's no sensory loss, no pain and temperature losses, no proprioception losses. Okay? So, kung ito-drawing natin yan, so let's go back to drawing. Here, ALS po tayo ha. ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Okay? So, there's degeneration of your, so here, corticospinal tract and anterior horn cells. Yan ang involved dyan. Leading to an upper and lower motor neuron lesion. Dorsal column is intact. Spinothalamic tract is intact. There is no sensory losses. Clear po? Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Okay, these are some individuals, famous people with ALS. It's otherwise known as Lou Gehrig syndrome. If you're familiar with Lou Gehrig, this is a famous baseball player, okay, who had this clinical entity, Lou Gehrig syndrome, otherwise known as ALS. Okay? Naintindihan po yung ALS?
Yes po.
Merong sensory loss ang ALS? Meron wala?
Wala po, Doc.
Wala. Sino sa inyo naki-ALS challenge? Bucket. Bucket. Ice. Ano ba yung tawag nila doon? Ice Bucket Challenge. Section B, meron ba dito? Naki-Ice Bucket Challenge? Yung pumunta pa ng Iceland, pumunta pa lang sa Bamayelo para maligo sa naglalawang, nagyayelong lawa. Tapos magpo-post sa Instagram for Ice Bucket Challenge. Okay? Actually, it was meant as a joke, di ba? Okay? Wala namang sensory losses yung ALS, eh, di ba? Motor losses ang merong ALS. Walang sensory losses yan. Clear po?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. And then you have your subacute combined degeneration, which is caused by, this is the nutritional type, vitamin B12 deficiency. So you have degeneration of the posterior and lateral columns. Posterior, so you have your dorsal column leading to loss of position sense and vibration in the legs. And lateral column is your corticospinal tract, leading to an upper motor neuron lesion. Okay? So you have both sensory and motor losses. You're going to have paralysis, an upper motor neuron lesion, and you're going to have sensory losses, proprioception. Spinothalamic is intact. No pain and temperature losses. Okay, again, if we're going to draw it, so you have involvement of your posterior column and cortico-spinal tract. Okay, spinothalamic tract is intact. Okay, anterior cord, this is the opposite of posterior cord, which means your spinothalamic tract is injured, your corticospinal tract is injured, but the dorsal column is intact. So which means you're going to have paralysis, you're going to have loss of pain and temperature sensations, but proprioception is intact.
Ay, so man.
Nakuha po mga anak? So opposite sila ng posterior cord. In posterior cord, you have to go back. In posterior cord, this part is injured. Okay? But in anterior cord, the dorsal column is intact. Nakuha po mga anak?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, very good. So let's summarize. These are the spinal cord lesions that I want you to remember. So for you to remember this one, so gumawa na po kayo ng tabulation na. Gumawa na kayo ng tabulation. First column, okay, the lesion. Okay, next one, okay, the presentations. Tapos lagay nyo, anong tract ang involved? Okay, let's start. Syringomyelia, central cord. What tract is mainly affected in syringomyelia? Central cord. Here, small lesion. What tract is mainly affected?
And anterior horn po, Doc.
Anterior horn is motor eh.
Ay,
Ito,
sorry.
dinodrawing na natin, oo. What tract is mainly affected? What will be the main presentation? Syringomyelia, central cord.
Spinothalamic tract po.
Spinothalamic tract, di ba? And all the rest are intact. Okay, central cord. But then again, if the cavitation, this is a progressive disorder. Kung yung cavitation, lumaki ng lumaki, okay, again, this will mimic a complete cord transection. But if it's a small lesion, you have involvement only of your spinothalamic tract. Okay? This is Brown-Séquard quartz. What tracts will be affected? So yung drawing na to, this is left hemisection. What tracts will be affected? Magtabulate na po kayo ha. Can you name one tract that will be affected in hemisection? Section B,
Dorsal column po.
dorsal column,
Corticospinal.
corticospinal tract, and you have your
spinothalamic.
spinothalamic. Okay? Are you going to have upper motor neuron lesion? Yes or no?
Yes
Ano may
po.
balik ka?
Are you going to have lower motor neuron lesion? Yes or no?
So, isa.
Yes po, Doc.
Yes, because you have involvement of your anterior horn cells. Kasi kalahati ng spinal cord is affected.
Sabi ko.
Clear? Okay, go back to the rule ulit. Saan ang proprioception loss? If it is on the left side, left hemisection, saan ang proprioception loss? Right or left?
Sa right po.
Proprioception loss is on the same side. So, saan ang proprioception loss mo?
Sa left din po, Doc.
Left side. Saan ang motor loss mo? Right or left?
Sa left din po.
Left. Saan ang pain and temperature losses mo?
Yun
Right
po
or
yung sa
left?
right.
Yun ang sa right. Okay, clear. Very good. Tabes dorsalis. Are you going to have weakness, paralysis in tabes dorsalis?
No po, Doc.
No. Are you going to have pain and temperature losses in tabes dorsalis?
No din po, Doc.
No. So the only pathway that will be affected is dorsal column. So this is posterior cord. Try to imagine this is posterior cord. So the only presentation will be proprioception losses. Okay? What is the opposite of tabes dorsalis? Anterior cord. So this is anterior cord. What will be the presentations? Are you going to have paralysis in anterior cord?
Yes po, Doc.
Are you going to have pain and temperature losses in anterior cord?
Yes po.
Okay. Are you going to have proprioception losses in anterior cord?
No po, Doc.
The answer is no, because the dorsal column is intact. Very good. Okay? ALS. Ano nga ulit yung ALS? Okay. This is ALS, for example. So you have involvement of your corticospinal tract and your anterior horn cells. Degeneration. Tama? Okay. Are you going to have proprioception loss?
No po, Doc.
No. Are you going to have pain and temperature losses?
No din po.
Are you going to have paralysis?
Yes po, Doc.
Yes. So you have combinations of an upper motor neuron lesion because you have involvement of corticospinal tract and lower motor neuron because you have involvement of your anterior horn cells, but no sensory losses. Okay? Subacute combined degeneration. Subacute combined degeneration, you have degeneration of your posterior column and your corticospinal tract. So try to imagine that. Are you going to have paralysis?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. An upper motor neuron lesion. Are you going to have proprioception loss?
Yes din po, Doc.
Yes, but spinothalamic is intact. No pain and temperature losses. Okay? I know you're familiar with this term, poliomyelitis. There's degeneration diba? A poliovirus attacking the anterior horn cells of the gray matter. Okay? So there's degeneration of the anterior horn cells, and this could lead to a lower motor neuron lesion. Okay, go back to the tabulation that I gave to you. Have you seen a person with poliomyelitis? Magkaroon ng history ng poliomyelitis. Diba, there is marked atrophy. Okay? There is paralysis, but the paralysis is said to be flaccid. Marked atrophy. And there's no sensory losses. So you have degeneration of the anterior horn cells. Okay? Any questions regarding spinal cord disorders and lesions? Section B, wala na yata, natulog na. Any questions po? Section B.
Wala po, Doc.
Ano pong naintindihan po, Dr. Roy?
Yes po, Doc.
Okay, very good.
Doc, may question lang po.
Yes.
Doc, doon po sa slide 9,
Ba yan? Slide 9? Anong
Opo.
slide yun?
yung mga sections po ng spinal cord at various levels.
Oh,
You said po earlier that the spinal cord terminates between L1 and L2. But
Oh.
the spinal cord in that picture po is meron pa ring sections ng spinal cord sa S2 and S3 showing in that slide po.
anak, magkaiba yung vertebral level sa spinal cord level. Di ba hindi sila pantay? Di ba? Ulit ha? Teka, babalik ko yung dali. Doc Peter, right picture. Hello po. Okay.
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc.
Ano sabi natin? Hindi pantay ang spinal cord at vertebral column. Sa vertebral column may cervical, may thoracic, may lumbar, may sacral, may coccygeal. Ganon din yung spinal cord. May cervical, may thoracic, may lumbar, may sacral. Hindi pantay yung spinal cord at vertebral column. Kaya nga, di ba, the spinal cord terminates at level. Nasaan ang termination ulit? In
Lower
adults?
border po.
Ayan, lower border L1, upper border L2. So Peter, meron din, iba yung buto, okay, sa spinal cord. Nakuha mo? So yung sinasabi mong, eto, syempre, meron sacral segments din ng spinal cord. Clear po ba, Sir Peter?
Opo, Doc. Thank you po.
Okay. Ang parang iniisip mo, kung ang spinal cord ay nag-terminate lang sa L1, L2, bakit ka merong spinal cord segments ng S2, S3? Siyempre, meron pa rin sacral segments ng spinal cord. Nagte-terminate siya sa buto L1, L2. Any other questions po? Ay, ano ba yan? Any other questions po? Wala na po? Section B. Wala na po.
Wala po, Doc.
Wala na yata ang kausap. Nagkaroon lang spinal cord disorder. Okay, if you have no questions, okay, thank you for listening. Okay,
Thank you po.
thank you.
Thank you po, Doc.
Okay po, you can log off na po. Maiwan na po kami. Thank you.